To infinity and beyond!
Whoa, he said the thing. Anyways, hello everybody. I am Gamemaster 909, back with more of Disney Infinity. Today I'm here as Buzz Lightyear from Toy Story. Now, previously we took care of some more feats in an interesting toy box world that I made. We still have a lot more feats to go through, however, plus some other things. And I also placed down a power disc with Cruella de Vil's car from 101 Dalmatians, which is pretty cool. You know, it's just another vehicle, which I believe does play a special song whenever you have the music on and get in it. I forget if it's another original piece, similar to the Electric Mayhem bus. That's what its freaking horn sounds like. Incredible. Also, what's weird is that after some special horn sound, if you hold down the button, it plays a normal horn right after. I always found that odd. I guess they didn't like replace the horn sounds, but rather just added on to like the pre-existing ones that like they would have as a placeholder. I don't know how it works, but it's really, really weird. And I kind of don't get it. But what I should probably do is place down a bunch of bashables. But what bashables shall they be? Let's see. Well, we got the retro TV. That'd be pretty funny. Box of fireworks. That'd be interesting. Jack-o'-lantern. Chicken coop. Cardboard box. This should probably be it. You know, I'm sure there's some people that have a passion for crushing boxes. We're about to do that here in just a bit. It's not even taking up the... It's not even filling up the meter all that much on the left. The toy meter, as the game would probably call it, honestly. In fact, I think that might actually be what it calls it. Let's see. Could probably solve this whole thing mathematically to see how many there really are. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. This is 75 right here, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to have 100. Alright, look at that. 101 cardboard boxes right there. Ain't that something? Got all those sparks, including some bonus ones for the power disc combo I have. With a Space Ranger Elite, because I have both of the Toy Story circular power discs placed down. Wow. Alright, so just crushed down 100 bashables at once right there. See, pretty simple. You just gotta place a lot of them down. Which, considering how small these cardboard boxes are, it isn't really that hard of a task, honestly. Just kind of lay things out by quickly placing boxes like the distance you want to, and then just kind of fill in the gaps afterwards. You'll probably have a whole bunch of boxes in no time. Whoops. Just like that. Watch this. Maybe if we go right in the middle. Never mind. Alright. At least it lets us know that we have Destroyed 300 out of 500 bashables. Holy crap, that frame rate. Did you guys see that? That is crazy. Boom. We almost have leveled up with Buzz Lightyear. Very nice. Could also just mash the A button as hard as you can, so that you can press it as many times, I guess, as you can. So you can place all these boxes, or whatever bashable you want. It doesn't have to be boxes, technically. It's just like these might be the smallest of all of them, like take up the least space, so like you could place a whole bunch of them in a pretty small area. Like here. The thing is, you really gotta get a pattern going, or like a rhythm, between flicking the analog stick and pressing the A button right after. I almost got it right there. What happens if we drift into it? Maybe that'll cover more space. I don't really know if it will, because it's really hard to drift straight forward. It's actually a lot trickier than it might seem. Yeah. Not really able to do it here. Well, I wasn't able to, but whatever. 400 out of 500 bashables. Alright. Can kind of feel that I'm almost there. Come on. There we go. Bash and smash! And we leveled up. You're welcome, Buzz. There better not be a Bash and Smash 2. Destroy 1,000 bashables. I spoke way too soon. My God! Set up 100 creative toy connections. That probably shouldn't be too hard. Have 5 gold statues in your Hall of Heroes. Place 500 blocks in total. That probably shouldn't be too hard, right? Probably have to make a new world for that. Maybe like a platformer or something cool. But for now, let's go ahead and check out Buzz Lightyear's Toy Box Adventure. Buzz Lightyear, save me! The townspeople are in trouble. They're stranded on meteors out in space, and only Buzz can help. Rescue them before the time runs out. Alright. So yeah, it's pretty similar to, say, I guess Mrs. Incredible's Toy Box Adventure. I think it's called Mrs. Incredible's Grab It, where you rescue townspeople and bring them to a specific destination. That pen over there is where you have to bring them. And we're actually given Buzz Lightyear's jetpack.
These guys need your help.
Sure seems like it. Okay.
Bring the citizens to the fetch pen.
Fetch pen, that's its official name. Alright, let's do it. Pick up and return the townspeople back to the rescue zone. Rescue aliens for bonus points. It's 25 points for gold. Alright, now I'm guessing 1 point for the normal townspeople. By the way, we're given 6 minutes. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Yep. 1 point for normal townspeople. I mean, I'm guessing like 3 points for aliens. And, yeah, it's just the generic civilians from the Incredibles playset. And if you're wondering about the Spark Capsules way out there, there will be new islands that appear over time as you rescue more and more people. What's weird is that I'm pretty sure in the Wii version, I I'm just talking about this because that's what I really remember the most in terms of like differences. There's an alien, by the way. Yeah, there you go. If you saw that, there was a island that just randomly appeared. Anyways, this is what we're saying. Similar to other Toy Box adventures that I've talked about before, the civilians, or like the townspeople here, are actually different. I believe. Ah, shoot! I didn't pay attention to how many points it gave me. But we got some Zerg bots to deal with. So yeah, of course, that can be an issue when it comes to picking up people, because they will cower in fear from enemies. But yeah, as I was saying, I believe rather than having these generic incredible civilians, it actually has the Prince Charming townsperson instead, which is really weird. I guess because they never programmed having the Incredibles townspeople outside of the Incredibles playset, which I don't see how that can be an issue, but whatever. What the? I don't know what happened there. Alright, well, I got the townsperson this time. And we're almost, I guess, to a silver medal. We may as well get these guys out of the way. Now, oh, by the way, you may notice those blocks over there. They're actually placed diagonally, because those are just the normal long blocks in this game. Placed diagonally, which you cannot do normally in the Toy Box mode. I always found that weird that you weren't able to place toys diagonally. Like, I always thought, okay, that's something they'll add in the next game every time. Okay. Another island just randomly appeared. Whenever a new Disney Infinity game came out, I would be like, okay, there's no diagonal placing in this. Surely it'll be in the next game, though, right? Honestly, there's probably a good chance they would have added it in 4.0 edition, if anything. Because, spoiler alert, yeah, it was not added into 2.0 or 3.0. Which is really weird. I may as well get this guy. Because I don't know. I've been trying to search for the aliens for a while now. Although what is interesting is that this adventure reminds me of how back then, I think I remember actually trying to record some Disney Infinity videos back when I still only had the Wii version of Disney Infinity. Yeah, isn't that interesting? Unfortunately, the footage is lost to time. But one thing I do remember is that some of it was of me playing through this specific Toy Box adventure. Which, I mean, yeah, some could consider it kind of crazy that I remember that. Alright, now we can see how much the alien gives us. Is it 5 or is it 3? It's probably 3. It's 2. Wow. That's disappointing. Whatever. It's still 2 points. Still pretty cool. We only need 6 points anyway. And we have a minute and a half. Okay. That might be an issue there. Oh, it's another alien. Perfect. But yeah, there was a lot of old footage. Like I said before, a lot of old footage I've recorded has been lost to time because I didn't care about preserving stuff back in the day. It was just like, oh, if I was running out of space on like a SD card or any sort of device, I would delete stuff without much care. you know, which I would not do at all nowadays. I will try to preserve stuff as much as I can at any cost. You know? Uh-oh. Alright, I got 30 seconds to rescue one more townsperson. Alright. Let's go ahead and grab this guy. And just like that, boom! Got a gold medal. Oh, right as I found another alien. The friggin' adventure is already done.
Do you know who you're messing with?
There we go. Just like that, we got gold.
I don't know what you're aiming at, but you just hit me.
Alright, we collected 7 sparks. Great. Alright, but anyways, yeah. That was Buzz Lightyear Save Me. And I distinctly remember that, yes, the video that I'm talking about was recorded before I had a capture card, so it was just recorded with, like, a camera pointed towards my TV. As I think I showed, like, one of the toy box worlds that I was building at the time. Anyways. What else do we have? Gotta destroy 1,000 bashables. That should be fun. Ugh. Jump over 500 objects with your mount during the course of play. Travel a total distance of 100 kilometers in air vehicles. That could probably be next. Or I could possibly just work on something else, like another toy box world, maybe. I'll probably just have another empty toy box. Because we gotta have a good way of placing it's 500, right? 500 blocks. Jump between rails to change course. Thanks, game. Alright, here we are.
There you are. What do you say we head on out there? Follow me. There's no time to waste.
There's the blocks. Perfect. Now, I think one cool thing we could do is, I just had the idea of what if I wanted to have like a platformer game to where you go through this obstacle course and then at the very end glide down to like an island. So where, like, the whole context is you're trying to go through it all to make your way to paradise. Call it like the path to paradise or something. Something like that. Now, one thing I should probably do is set the theme of the blocks to stunt wood so that they look good next to all of the like the action toys, you know? And maybe have some starting area. Or maybe we should have like maybe make it like a side scroller. That'd be cool. And then, because we'll have the Disney Infinity Hub, which is, I believe, the size of a block floor. So that's kind of perfect. Just have it there, and boom, that's where you start. Then we have an arch. Wow, we've already placed 300 blocks. That's a good sign. Alright, looks like we won't have much issue quite yet. Maybe we could even place 3 long blocks to have this. Look at that. 3 long wedge blocks. It has to have something, you know. Alright, so for the action toys, we have a wall jump block, a moving wall, doors, conveyor belts. We have an elevator platform. We got cannons. We got fans. We got gates. Tripwire, a pool. Mines, freaking turrets. And that's it. Okay. Great, that's what I meant before about how if you place blocks in a toy box world, the character chests are most likely going to be placed on those blocks. So I'll probably use that tactic in the future for when we actually do collect those chests. But yeah, just kind of a heads up. I think I said that before, but it's kind of relevant now. Alright, so we're probably going to want to use the camera here, the sidestep camera, so that we can, if we want this to be a side scroller, let's see what happens if we place it there. We could probably even connect it to the arts block, passed through. Well, when you pass it through, it'll connect to the camera. Just kidding, no it won't. What? Alright, never mind. I guess we won't do that. Maybe because it has to be specifically a player. What about a checkpoint? Which you could place a checkpoint right under an arch. Checkpoint set. We'll do that. You still can't set it up to the camera? What? I guess it's only certain toys you could do it with, like a trigger area. It probably is just that. Oh my god, really? Of course. You have to have it specifically be player entered. Right? Now it works. Of course. Because I guess because it can't be like anything, it has to be specifically a player. That's kind of weird. Whoa, okay. I will say, it's a little far away. Oh.
What have we here?
Should probably place it a little closer then. Because it's actual, like, I know I talked about this before. It's actual placement, which, oh, never mind, it's always there. Weird. Yeah, it determines exactly where the camera, like, the distance from the player. At least I think. So if you place it a little closer.
Everyone else is having a good time. I know I am.
Place it here. And it will be closer. This is a good distance. Yeah. I kind of like this. Cool. Alright, anyways. Although, are there any creativity toys we could possibly use for this platforming challenge? I mean, of course there's a checkpoint and stuff like the party cannons for the very end. The replayer, ooh, that'd be interesting. Oh my god. I think I said this before, but I could do something really evil and use the replayer to make freaking disappearing blocks, Mega Man style. Some of you might know what I'm talking about. Of blocks appearing and then over time disappearing. So you have to get the rhythm of the blocks appearing and disappearing down. That would be so freaking evil, but it would be cool. If we use the repeater combined with the replayer, oh, it could be so cool. Forgot to mention the mashers. fan. Well, I'm wondering if we should start it with the pendulum pit. That's what I always call it whenever there's like a bunch of pendulums right next to one another, which is usually what I start these platforming challenges out with. Like I said, I usually call it the pendulum pit. Even if it's a name I made up as a kid, I still kind of like it, you know? I think it's something that does actually hold up quite well. It's gonna be a pretty narrow path. So you're gonna wanna be careful when dealing with the pendulum pit. Check this out. Yeah, so you're gonna wanna be super careful, or you could fall just like that. Pretty close to the camera. Look at that. So I guess if you went super close-ups to your character, you could do something like, yeah, have the camera trapped in there. I don't know why you would want to do that, but it's something.
Really shaping up.
Also, we could probably place a whole bunch of trigger areas below, or possibly even lava below the course, so that if you ever fall off, you won't go like falling forever. You'll just kind of be met with your doom pretty quickly. So we should probably place lava below the entire course. Doing this can also give us like a good layout of what's to come. You know, especially if you do it early on. Always good to do that.
I feel like I've been here before.
No, you haven't, Buzz. What are you talking about? Alright, well we got wedge blocks. I don't know what use would have for wedge blocks. Unless there was like an overhead part where we go through like a pinball machine or something weird like that. That could actually work now I think about it. Ledge blocks, we could probably use these for something weird. Pillar block, I mean that could be good for like decorations. Curved block, ooh, okay. A balcony, sure. We could have you like jumping on some like flippers right here. Yeah. Either that or spinners. I don't know, I like the idea of the flipper. And what's cool is that whenever you like place these down and then reload in the Toy Box world, it won't like save the exact timing that you place all of them down. So like they'll pretty much flip in unison if you reload the world because they're all, I think, all loaded in at once. I'm pretty sure, or like at least I know their animations are. So yeah, just a little insight there. I'm pretty sure it's the same case for the pendulums, but I could be wrong. Although it would be interesting to see. And to top it off, gotta have the big spinner. And then we could have another checkpoint right there. Oops, I think I skipped the blocks. I sure did. Ooh, maybe we could have like the blip blocks But you're dealt with enemies that have ranged attacks, so you gotta look out. Although, I'm not sure how we would, have the blocks come back. Maybe we could use a replayer for that. I think that could work, right? Probably. That would make sense. Like, you just reach a random point in this whole challenge, and the trigger area will just randomly, or like I said, a random trigger will activate a replayer. That will spawn in the blocks if you ever need them. And that's where another checkpoint will go. A long support arch, a short support arch. Sure, we could have it elevated a little. That would be cool. We'll have a long block, which then leads to the blip block section. Which, in order to have toys connected to the replayer, you would need to use the replayer first. But this is just for demonstration. This probably isn't going to be the final product. With these, along with stuff like a triangle blip block and a pillar, and possibly even some curves they would need to go on. Or we make it to the final slope. Although, we're gonna have to figure out how the enemies will spawn. Well, they can't spawn on the platforms, because then it'll give you a platform that you could use at any time. Let's see here. I don't think the falling object generator will help us, will it? That just comes with physics balls for us to use. So I think the enemy generator is the only way we can actually manually spawn enemies. Well, okay. We could do that. Okay. Here we go. Ooh, maybe begin the ledge section, perhaps? And then there will be a part where you could drop down. Maybe even a dip beam or something. Something weird like that. And have some dips, which leads to the next obstacle. That being conveyor belts. With the added bonus, I guess you could say, mashers. Again, whenever you reload the world, the pattern that these will mash down will be different. Oh my god, spikes. I think in later Disney Infinity games, the spikes will be a lot more generous, but here, they are not so nice. Actually, that might help us out. And it'll pretty much force you to use the ledges here. Let's see how that works. I guess now is a good time we could try testing everything out.
That's no way to treat a space ranger.
Yeah, inanimate hammer. What were you thinking? Uh-oh. That might be an issue. Yeah, I really should have thought this through when it comes to like this being a side scroller, because yeah, having such a narrow path probably isn't great. And also the camera being this zoomed out really doesn't help. What's nice is that in later Disney Infinity games, they allow you to have the camera at like an angle, which might be actually pretty helpful here. Like there. Alright, that's it. I'm moving the camera in a little closer to see if that helps any. Alright. Oh, okay, it kind of does. Yeah, I actually think this is a good angle right here. Yeah, look at that. We actually get to see where our character is. That's nice. Close call there. Look at that. We made it. I believe, yeah, the next section is the blip block section. And, okay, yes, you can grab on to blip blocks. Just checking. Okay. And here, we pretty much have to use the ledges. We can't go up, otherwise we'll be met with spikes. Okay. That was a close one. Yeah, thank goodness for those ledges. And yeah, you may notice on the bottom of the mashers, there's a little light indicating when it's about to come down. Alright. Here we go. Maybe this shouldn't be a side scroller, but other than that, it's not. This isn't too bad so far. I'm kind of liking it. Okay. Ooh, some columns would be kind of fun to jump on. Like the first, or the next checkpoint could be right there. And then you got some columns to jump on. And the next stop should probably be fans? I don't know. Oh god, that would be rude. Spinners. Jumping on spinners. Whoops. Where are the floors again? There they are. Perfect. Yeah, so place the floors right here. We may as well have ourselves a firing squad in the form of the pop-up turrets. We'll have these guys shoot you down. Okay. Interesting. It's such a shame that this game doesn't really have invisible walls. It wouldn't be until 2.0 edition that they introduced that. God, that's a weird thing. So many of my complaints here were fixed in later games. It's just funny to think about how weird it is to go back to this game's toy box mode when the later games improve upon it in so many ways. I'd still argue... Oh my god. I'm about to freaking just like delete the camera. Okay. Great.
Well, that was uncalled for.
Am I stuck with the camera? Okay, apparently I'm not. Maybe we could go around it. Like that. That works. So that's pretty close.
It's my own fault for being in your way.
Wow. Oh, never mind. I guess we have to... What happens if we have it even closer, though? That is pretty close. Holy crap. But, although we aren't able to predict obstacles like the pendulums as well, we can still see where we are a lot better. So that's nice, at least. But, yeah, they're still pretty difficult to dodge, nonetheless. And the camera zoomed out again. Oh my god, you see the problem here? Maybe the camera isn't judged by distance. Like the distance of the camera itself. Or maybe it is, and it's just acting really weird today. Alright, there we go. The blip blocks. Well, watch out for the spikes. And I think this is the last thing we have left made, right? Or unless there's more. Oh, no, there's more. I forgot. Yeah. Because there's the columns and the spinners. Which, yeah, change directions whenever you land on them. Oh, shoot, we actually found our way down here. How'd that happen? Huh. Alright, I guess this is longer than I thought it was. Cool. Good sign. I keep on pressing the wrong frickin' buttons. I keep on pressing select to pull up spark mode, even though I know that's not what the frickin' button is, but whatever. Should probably save what we have so far and give it a name. Yes. Ooh. I'm not sure. You could probably give it a weird name like Platform Paradise or something. Whoops. Can we not fit that? Whoops. Nope, we can't fit that. I guess it's... I guess there's not going to be a space there, because apparently all we could fit is that without a space. I guess it only allows for 16 characters in terms of the toy box names. I think in later Disney Infinity games, they would actually increase that to, I think, like 28 or something. 28 characters? I forget exactly, but it's definitely more than seen here. We got quite a lot here already. But hopefully there will be more in the future. But I guess we'll see.